In front of the vault, there are a bunch of shiny gold bars. These masked cruel people don't even look at the front. Instead, they force the manager to open the storage room at the bottom of the vault. The manager is in a daze. But when they enter this small warehouse that has been abandoned for decades, they see a manager who is pushing away his teammates, and he opens the drawer full of dust. Everyone's faces suddenly show a smile of satisfaction. These 20 boxes are full of Nazi gold. It turns out that these gold bricks are all from World War II, and have never been officially recorded as a top-secret product. The next second, they immediately move the gold bricks out of the box, and throw them into the masked equipment to be remade. The woman's goal is extremely clear, which is to completely change the face of this batch of unedited, untraceable treasures. The next second, the woman confiscates everyone's phones first, and forces them to wear the same face mask. In this way, the snipers outside can't tell who is the enemy, and who is the innocent Goya at all. After doing all this, the woman begins to negotiate with the people outside, to fight for more time for her teammates. And at the time when she is trying her best, the woman's teammates are split into two groups. Some people are crazy to dig out the escape route, and some people are constantly melting the gold. The woman even dared to invite the police outside, to come in and see for herself, whether the hostages are absolutely safe. Don't suddenly hear the sound of a sudden gunshot, which immediately aroused their suspicion. The woman hangs up the phone, and immediately rushes into the storage room, but the scene in front of her makes her fall into the ice cave instantly. Her teammates even blink their eyes in order to devour the gold, and the inside of the cave exploded. The woman suddenly realizes that the situation is out of control, and must immediately start the extremely dangerous Plan B. According to the original plan, a police officer was put into the bank to ensure the safety of the hostages. The woman did not want this police officer to act sneakily, but immediately aroused everyone's alertness. As soon as she showed her head, she was dragged to one side. Everyone hurriedly searched for a pinhole camera from her body. The next second, the woman forces this police officer to put on their uniform. The woman pulls the police officer to the corner, and after confirming that there are no people in private, she slowly takes off her mask and randomly exposes her entire Plan B to this police officer. The police officer is confused. Unexpectedly, before the woman answers, there is a sound of a sudden gunshot. That crazy accomplice actually directly solved the teammate who was digging the tunnel. The woman's eyes shone with a trace of cruelty. She rushes into the tunnel without hesitation, and with this man who has become a time bomb, directly opens the front door. You are going to follow my plan now. According to the order of the crazy man, the woman obediently placed 10 high-energy explosives at the entrance of the tunnel. Half a step back, she coldly invited him to come and inspect. But as soon as the man bowed his head to inspect, the woman immediately grabbed the opportunity and forcefully pushed him into the vault. With the sound of metal rubbing against the man's teeth, the heavy vault door was suddenly locked. The man who was trapped crazily smashed the door inside the door. He actually used the woman's kidnapped brother as his last threat. Let me out. But how did he know? The woman has already teamed up with that police officer, and has already arranged a special police team to rescue his brother. The next second, the woman did not turn her head back, and decisively pressed the detonator. A loud bang. The explosives instantly tore the basement. The flood filled the basement of the bank like a beast, and at this time, the traitor locked in the vault had no way to escape. With the explosion, the armed police immediately rushed into the bank, and instantly controlled all the people. But the strange thing is, after the closing ceremony, there was not a single gold bar in the bank record. What's more ridiculous is that all the hostages were dressed exactly like the robbers, and no one had seen the real face of the robbers. In the end, due to lack of evidence, the suspect who was controlled could only be released on the spot. Do you think this is over? The real climax has just begun. The next second, the woman disguised herself as a cleaner and quietly returned to the bank to pretend to clean up the garbage. Under the eyes of everyone, she threw all the 7 colored blue handkerchiefs in the hall into the garbage truck, one by one. Then she ran straight to the docks. At the docks, the police officer who had been rebelled by her had been waiting for a long time. Suddenly, he received a text message from the woman. It was a string of passwords. The officer entered the password randomly. Unexpectedly, the locked door was opened immediately. In less than a second, the golden light of the 4 eyes instantly dazzled her eyes. A car full of gold was left behind. At this time, everyone kidnapped the woman's brother and tried to blackmail the mastermind behind the scenes. They were happy to come to prepare for the fireworks. But what they were waiting for was not the gold, but the spy who had been ambushed for a long time. With a black gunshot, they rushed up from the darkness. These bad guys were killed in one fell swoop. A woman, who was in a desperate situation, used her calm mind to trick everyone. She not only saved her family's life, but also completed a perfect counterattack. She hid all her wisdom in her heart, and defeated the enemy according to the enemy's rules. This is the real heroine.